Hello everyone, and welcome back to Gnomoria, the Scarred Land. In the last episode, we finished setting up our basic workshops, and we were starting to work on some of our more advanced ones. We've got the distillery ready. All 4 of these are being used, so we can go ahead and start the next workshop. So what I want to go ahead and start, under metal, we need to get a furnace, and a forge, and a smelter, and a blacksmith. Basically everything that's in this list we need to get up. So I'm going to start with furnace. And now this is useful for producing coal out of wood, which we can use to make torches, which will make exploring below safer. Let's go ahead and press play. And it will take them a little bit of time. They're going to need to make the bellows out of the carpentry shop. They're going to need to make the furnace out of the stonemason. And of course they've already got tasks. Plenty of tasks. So they will take quite a bit to get those done. We still have people training. They should be training very shortly. Now once the 2 of them are training, I'm going to go ahead and open up this wall so that we can come out here, we can pick up this log and maybe harvest some of this food here. I'm not seeing any dangers, no bears or goblins, but that could change. They might decide to show up as soon as we open up the gate. Go ahead and speed things along until then. There we go. And here they both come. So we're going to go and mine out this wall. Just one section of the wall. Let's just hope not everybody training has... there we go. The wall will be demolished. There we go. Let's forage these plants that are pretty close. Some combat noise mixed along with some foraging noises. Let's tell him to pick up this log right here. I'm going to kind of want to keep my eye out for enemies, because if I see a lot of stuff pop up at once, it might be time to run everybody inside and try to build the wall up. Looks like we're okay for now. Let's check on the progress of our workshop. Right, we have our first furnace. Now we're just going to tell him to craft coal, repeat. And granted, he's only going to make it until his internal stockpile is full, so that's fine. Now, furnace is, I believe, smelting. Right, smelting 1, so only smelters. And I believe, yes, everybody is set for smelting, so that will get done when there's no other jobs to do. I'm also going to head and build, let's see, it is furniture. Torch. We're going to start getting some torches set up so that we can dig down without worry about spawning creatures. Just like that. Now, the coal will get done because the torch needs coal, so they will prioritize that when they realize that there's something down here to build. Okay, it's nighttime now, so if something happens up here, I won't be able to tell. They're not hauling that log. Everybody's either busy. Yeah, they're all busy with other jobs. As soon as the foraging is done, they'll start hauling. Well, they went off to sleep, so there's no sense in you training any longer. So you can go out and get to work and maybe protect them on the front. nice foraging sounds there. Okay, they have decided they have better things to do, so we're going to set the food priority hauling to 1. Try to kick that up just a little bit. Get some of this food hauled in so we can close the door again. Because there's nobody training, there's nobody guarding this. They could walk right in and start killing my yaks. Of course, not now that the man with the weapons and armor is there. Alright. We're going to go ahead and build the wall up for now. I do not have enough soldier gnomes to feel comfortable with just leaving my gate open. I could build a door there instead of having the wall, and then the door will give me time for them to, because they got to beat the door down before they can get through to me. But right now I only have 2 soldiers, so if both of them are sleeping, one of them's sleeping right now, then once he gets through the door, I'm gonna have to fight him with fists and teeth, and with the potential of losing those fists and teeth. So we're going to try to avoid that as best as we can for now. But once we have proper armor, that won't be a thing to concern ourselves with. We'll be protected from the fists. So we're going to mine out this wall here and here. And as soon as there is room, we're gonna pop a torch down. I don't want to put the torch right next to the stairs. Wait till there's a space clear. There we go. That looks like a good spot. See, the other torch is already built. As soon as this one is built, alright, our brewery is built. So we have fruit, beer, or tea. Now, tea we won't be able to make until we can farm mushrooms. And the trick for that, since I don't have any mods installed, is we're going to open up this into a separate room, and then we're going to plant mushroom farms with the water, or with the soil that is hydrated. But for now, I'm not going to set anything, because we only have a small amount of fruit. But once I start having my first harvest, and I start having an excess of fruit laying around, then we'll go ahead and start making some wine. We do have plenty of drinks right now. What we're short on is meals. So that being said, let's go ahead and get our kitchen. Food and drink. We're gonna build our butcher shop and our kitchen. Right here. There we go. Remove some more of this wall so we have some more room. They're still mining down here. Now this rock, this marble here, can turn into a golem if I leave too much of it near itself, or near each other. So hopefully someone comes down here and cleans this up before too long. Most of the food has been hauled from up above. We're going to need to start thinking about an area to store the cotton, where we can turn the cotton into bolts of cloth, ready to be used for our tailor, so that when we get a tailor, we can have some cloth ready. After I clear this area out here, I'll probably clear an area out up here more. And then we'll do, to this side, we'll do the tailors. I'll autosave there. Ooh, I did not mean to open this out. That is not a good thing to do. I'm not sure if enemies can fit through there, through that corner there, but on the side of caution, let's go ahead and cover that up. And we're going to cancel the rest of these jobs down here. Yes, build this wall, please. I don't want anything coming through and harming us. What's that green stuff? Huh. Ah, that's right. Malachite, I believe. We'll get to that later. Could also be gems used for making jewelry. Now this rock is not being prioritized. Ah, yeah. People are sleeping. That would be why the rock is not being hauled. It is priority 1. Let's not make a bunch of more stuff to haul until we have this stuff hauled. There we go. We're hauling the rocks now. And he's hauling them over to turn them into blocks. Fantastic. Okay, once this is all hauled, then we can start continuing the... Alright, the dirt's being hauled. Finish bringing up the rocks, please. Great. Now, did I make this unaccessible somehow? I might have. Go ahead and mine that wall out and see if that gets that cleared up. Might also be because everybody's sleeping or busy. Alright, butcher, we can't actually do anything yet, but we can tell him to butcher excess livestock. And then we can currently tell our pasture to only allow 1 male. So we'll only let 1 male stay in this pasture for breeding purposes. As many females as we can have currently, because they're the ones who make the offspring. And the excess males will just be brought down by our rancher to be butchered. Basically, as soon as they're born. It's a little sad, but that is the way of life. We have no neighbors yet. Nobody on the map. Nobody coming to say hello. With swords. We're clear. Let's check on progress. Ah, we have too many people sleeping for my liking. Still no harvest. It's a bit odd. I did plant that as quickly as I could. Normally I would have had some by now. It's fine. I believe we still have plenty of straw to feed our animals. We have 8 straw. I think they roughly eat 1.5 each per day. Could be wrong, but I think that's about it. So that'll last us a couple more days, and we should be having a harvest anytime now. Ah, the kitchen is being built. Fantastic. Now, if we had extra straw, we could immediately turn it into bread. Loaf of bread only requires grain. Sausage we can start making once we start slaughtering the animals. Cheese we can start making now with milk, but I'm going to keep the milk for the drinks purposes. That, and it's not enough of a benefit for food for putting one of my gnomes to work making just milk all the time. I'll go ahead and make my cloth area. Get that started. They're not making this furnace. I don't know why. Furnace and bellows. He needs to make the blocks. Probably needs planks as well. Well, bellows isn't even on the list, but I was talking about making a wheelbarrow. So I'll go ahead and make one of those right away. And loom. That's what we will be needing to turn the cloth fibers into strings and, well, first we have to turn them into bolts of cloth, and then we turn the bolts of cloth into strings. It'd be nice if we could turn the fibers directly into strings. Save a step. Alright, we're getting someone on this mining. Hopefully this rock will get cleaned up. Still haven't found any ore that I've actually mined. There will be ore on this level, but there's more ore the deeper you go, and the more rare ore the deeper you go. Alright, they're cleaning this room out now. And they're cleaning the dirt right away as well. So the first... Ooh, I missed a wall. I'm going to set up a stockpile in the back for cloth, fibers, cotton. There are also animals that drop fibers as well. They'll drop wool. I don't have the access to those yet, though. I have to buy them from a merchant once we get to that point. Ah, our first harvest. Fantastic. Now, with the wheat being harvested, we get more seeds to plant more wheat. So I'm going to need to cut these trees down here to make room for another wheat farm. I could just expand this one, but it's easier in the beginning to have several smaller farms, so they don't spend too much time on one farm and neglect the other ones. It's better to have all of the stuff harvested right away, so it can get right back to growing, in my opinion. Alright, trees are almost down. Now they only need to remove the trees. They don't need to actually haul this stuff out of the way. But I am going to wait until he's done with the current task on that farm before I add another farm. Let's see. Probably about a good time to set some training. Considering that, let's see, he's awake. I believe they are both awake. Right, they are both awake. Fantastic. So they'll get some training done. I just don't want them to have very low weapon skills when the enemies do show up. Which they probably have by now. And since my gates were sealed, the next time they come, they're going to bring a little buddy to tunnel in with them. So hopefully they don't show up in the middle of the night and start killing gnomes while these two are sleeping or off doing something else. I could just start making a bunch of stone swords and just equip everybody with some sort of sword or axe. The problem with that is if they have to pick up a woodcutter's axe or a mining pick for their job, they're going to put their sword down. So they're just dropping their weapon wherever. And then when they need their weapon, it's either not near them, or they've left it somewhere for an enemy to just pick up. And if an enemy shows up with no weapon, and then you give him a sword, that's generally not a good thing to do. Generally. They're having some good whacks at each other. You can actually go under, I believe if you click here, you can record the combat log of their training and have a better look. If you look under the military, or under the events, under combat, Cloud versus Cellfire the Elite. So we see Cloud swings with his copper pickaxe at Cellfire the Elite Warlord, but Cellfire the Elite Warlord dodges the attack. Now I believe that will directly relate to Cellfire's dodge increasing. Swings with the marble hammer but Cloud dodges the attack. Cellfire swings with marble sword at Cloud, hitting the upper body and stopping at the copper breastplate. Well, that's nice that you didn't chop my lungs out of my chest. Hitting the upper body and stopping at the skin. Now, when they're swinging at the enemies, there will be no stopping at the skin. There will be stopping at the copper breastplate, but it will usually end in smashing the copper breastplate, or breaking the copper breastplate, to which then the next blow will land directly on their flesh and potentially maim or kill them. Attacks made directly to the flesh can instantly kill somebody in one hit. I've had it happen plenty of times where the breastplate will be at 1 durability left. One goblin will come up and smash the breastplate and destroy it, and another goblin will immediately pierce the heart and kill the gnome who was wearing that. It's very unfortunate when it happens, but that is unfortunately the way things work in this game and in brutish times of war. Alright, you're starting to plant those flowers, and I don't want you to do that, so I'm going to tell you to make another wheatgrass farm with a pretty high priority. As soon as you're done with that, you should start working on the wheatgrass. Now, there are plenty of spots that can still accept seeds, but it's nice to have it ready, because once it starts doubling and then quadrupling, you're gonna have more seeds than you can have anything to do with. They should be just about done training, so I'm going to go ahead and shut that off now so they can either get to sleep, get something to eat or drink, or just straight get to work. That's great too. Appreciate it. Ah, grab the wheelbarrow. Yes, now you can grab all of that fruit at once, or 3 of them. Why did you only grab 3 of them? There's only 4 out of 32. You could have filled that barrel. Maybe there's stockpile. Ah, the stockpile doesn't have room for all. Okay. Well, maybe it did. Go now. Ah, you are done now too. You will also be told to make coal. Forever. That is all that they do. Towards the end, I'm going to have probably 100 of these buildings, at least. You will see why. Alright, we still haven't found any kind of iron yet, so there's no point in building a smeltering system yet until we actually find some sort of iron to smelt. So let's continue further down. I like to get to about 10. And then I'll clear out most of 10, placing torches everywhere so that there's no chance of spawning enemies. I prefer not to spawn skeletons and enemies where my gnomes are just 1 or 2 floors away. I'll let him mine out a little bit of space and then I'll put a torch down. There we go. That torch will have a pretty high priority because I don't really have much being built right now. We have plenty of room for this mining operation. We're pretty secure. Let's just do a quick check of the landscape. I'm still not seeing anything. The animals will show up and then they'll just leave after some time. I'm not sure exactly how long it is. It might be different each animal. But they'll just show up and then if nothing happens, they'll leave. Okay. Ah, torch is being built. I feel more confident to dig a little bit more. I would really like to be able to get some ore dug up this episode. Let's speed things up 4 times. Let's get our haulers down here to pick up these rocks, please. They will probably immediately start picking up rocks as soon as they are done with this mining, because they probably don't have anything else better to do. Or I could be wrong. Ah, thank you very much. Pick up all the rocks. All the rocks, all the time. There we go. Ah, you're hungry. You go ahead and eat. I will not end this episode until we find some ore. Although I might have to, depending on how much longer it takes. Okay, well, we have one miner asleep. Yep. So that is going to just be slow. We have much more crops to harvest. What is the priority on this one? 1. Priority on that one's 2. Alright. Perfect. That one is still set to 1, so he'll work on this one first. And then he'll work on this one when he doesn't really have much else to do. And then he will go and cover these other fields, the cotton field and the strawberry field, when he has nothing better to do. Now, he is awake and the other miner is asleep. Okay, well, I am going to mine stairs down over on this side. Or dig stairs down. Right here. Then we're gonna mine up to here. And ignore that autosave. Go back, go back. Alright, we finally have our first ore. Even though it's coal, that still counts for me. I'm counting it. So in the next time, we're going to get some smelting set up and hopefully be able to find some real ore that we can turn into bars. So that'll have to do it for this episode. I appreciate you watching and I hope to see you next time.